Rangers plotting a swoop for a £6 million sensation from England. 3 players told their time at Ibrox is up. Jefte and Ridvan Yilmaz exit on cards at Rangers amid Celtic transfer claim, and a total Ibrox flop being lined up as a Champions League star. It's madness, and it's all real. Want to see these and more Rangers news? Stay until the end. We are the people. Rangers have been keeping tabs on Kwame Poku, the flying winger, lighting up League One with Peterborough United, a right-sided menace with a wand of a left foot. Poku has been pulling defenses apart for fun, notching 11 goals and 11 assists, despite being out for 4 months with a hamstring injury. That's not form, that's fireworks. Now, here's the kicker. Peterborough's chairman, Barry Fry, that one, has confirmed that both Rangers and Celtic have been snooping about down at London Road. But he's having a bit of a cheeky pop, suggesting Poku's too good for Scotland and more likely to land at a top-end championship club. You can smell the sour grapes from here to the Clyde, but here's the bit that'll get you grinning. Peterborough reckon they can rake in £6 million for him through a tribunal, but due to cross-border rules, Rangers wouldn't need to cough up anything close to that. You'd think Fry would be raging, and he probably is, but that's the game, isn't it? Poku himself seems keen on a move north, fancying a path similar to Joe Aribo's journey from Charlton to Ibrox. And let's be honest, we all know how that turned out. Cup finals, European nights, and a proper footballing education under pressure, with Václav Černy's loan spell potentially coming to an end and a hefty £7 million needed to make it permanent. Poku could be the perfect plug-in: pace, goals, flair, and hunger. Just the sort of energy that could light up Ibrox on a European night. Oh, and Peterborough fans say he's the best player in League One. Imagine what he could become under the lights of Ibrox. Would you rather see Rangers go all in on a hungry, affordable talent like Kwame Poku, or waste time chasing overpriced loanees who will be off the second the check clears, just like Celtic love to do? With the proposed takeover by the San Francisco 49ers enterprise group gathering pace, attention is starting to shift to what really matters: who stays and who's packing their bags. And if Derek Ferguson's instincts are right, you might be saying cheerio to a few familiar faces this summer. First up, Leon Balogun, a warrior on his day, no doubt, solid in the air, composed on the ball, and never one to shy away from a tackle. But at 36, with his body seemingly held together by duct tape and prayers, Derek reckons it's time for the big man to move on. Harsh, maybe, but when you're building a side to win titles and make a dent in Europe, sentiment can't be your signing policy. Next in line, Tom Lawrence. A talented player, but let's be honest, he's spent more time in the treatment room than on the pitch. There's only so many times you can say when he's fit before you admit that it's not working. Derek sees Rangers shopping elsewhere for someone more reliable, and it's hard to argue. Then there's the one that'll split opinions right down the middle, Ianis Hagi, the Romanian magician who once lit up Ibrox on those big European nights. But since his return from that horror injury, he's struggled to find the spark. The talent is still there, but has the pace of the game left him behind? Derek thinks so, and he's predicting Hagi will seek pastures new this summer. And just when you thought that was enough, James Tavernier's name enters the chat. Don't panic, he's not going yet. Derek reckons the captain will stick around until the end of the 2025-26 season, possibly bowing out with a testimonial. But the message is clear: time waits for no one, even for a man who's banged in more goals from right back than most strikers manage in a season. Would you be brave enough to let Hagi and Tavernier go, Rangers icons in their own right? Or is this just another overreaction from a pundit who's forgotten what loyalty looks like at Ibrox? And right now, all eyes are on the left-back spot, with 2 current Rangers men possibly on their way out, and a certain Celtic player being mooted as a surprise replacement. Let's start with Yefte and Ridvan Yilmaz. On paper, both have the tools and pace, energy, the ability to drive forward, but neither has really stamped their authority on that jersey. Between them, they've managed to combine 4 assists in the league this season. Decent numbers, but not exactly lighting the heather on fire, especially in a system that demands attacking fullbacks to do more than just shuttle up and down the touchline. Yefte, to be fair, has played more regularly and has shown glimpses of quality, but he's also now attracting attention from elsewhere, and with his value on the rise, the smart move might be to cash in. Ridvan, a player we had high hopes for, but 17 league appearances in a season plagued by injuries and inconsistency might just spell the end of his Rangers Chapter 2. Enter Greg Taylor, a Celtic man through and through, or so we thought. But now, whispers suggest he grew up supporting your side of the city. A solid, dependable option who knows the league, can play that inverted full back role to a T and rarely misses a game. Johnny McFarlane's been stirring the pot, suggesting Taylor would be a snug fit in blue. And if there's truth in it, well, that would be a transfer saga for the ages. Add to that the Ferguson factor. Barry's already shown more tactical clarity in a few matches than we've seen in months. He's beaten Mourinho and Rodgers in the same breath, and whether he gets the gig full-time or not, you better believe he's having a say in who stays and who goes. Now, imagine it, Greg Taylor walking into Ibrox, pulling on that blue shirt and leaving the Celtic support absolutely frothing. Would you welcome a player like Greg Taylor to Ibrox, even if it means pushing out Yefte and Yilmaz? Or is signing a former Celtic starter one step too far, no matter how much of a Rangers man he claims to be? You ever hear the phrase failing upwards? Robin Proper, who can't buy a start at the Ibrox right now, is being floated as a potential Champions League defender. Aye, you read that right. The Dutchman arrived last summer from FC20 with a tidy £1.5 million spent, and let's not sugarcoat it. It's been rough. Proper's been about as convincing as a chocolate teapot in a Highland winter since that howler against Motherwell, a performance so bad it had Craig Moore calling him easy to play against. He's vanished from the lineup faster than a pie at half-time. But now, despite struggling to cope with the physical demands of Scottish football, his name is getting thrown into the mix back in the Netherlands. Feyenoord, side pushing for the Champions League, are being told by Dutch pundits to consider Proper as a replacement for David Hanko. Should their £35 million man head off to Chelsea, PSG, or even Liverpool? Imagine that. 1 minute you're on the Ibrox bench watching Dujon Sterling and Leon Balogun try to remember how to defend, and the next your name's being touted as a leader in a Champions League backline. Now, to be fair, Proper was solid in Europe earlier this season, and the Dutch game is far less demanding physically. It's more about shape, technique, and ball control. Maybe he'd thrive again back home, maybe. But if Rangers can recoup that £1.5 million and send him packing with a thank you card and a Ryanair voucher, you wouldn't hear many complaints. If Robin Proper ends up playing Champions League football next season, while Rangers still struggle to find a proper centre-half pairing, what does that say about our recruitment of Bianchi? And is that the most embarrassing fall upwards since Celtic called Vasilis Barkas a long-term solution? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.